Hello, welcome, my name is Axel K, and today we're taking a look at the new Ramp Druid for the Voyage to the Sunken City expansion. Ramp Druid is all about using cards like Wild Growth, Nourish, and Wildheart Guff to gain a ton of mana to get ahead of your opponent. Guff will let you go above 10 mana, so you will end up with huge swing turns in the late game. When you're done ramping, you can finish the game with huge cards like Ivus the Forest Lord, Raid Boss Onyxia, Naga Giant, and even Kazakhstan to discover powerful treasures to close out the game. For your mulligan, you're just looking for ramp and some early game utility, so go for Dosing Kelpkeeper, Jerry Rig Carpenter, Wild Growth, and Wildheart Guff. I always prioritize finding ramp, so you could even go for soft ramp like Innervate, or even some big ramp like Nourish. Wildheart Guff is by far the best card in the deck, so prioritize finding him. And a pretty neat curve to go for is Wild Growth on turn 3, Wildheart Guff on 4, and Scales of Onyxia on 5 to deal with your opponent's board. You can even curve into a Miracle Growth for a taunt minion and some extra card draw if your hand is bad. The game plan is pretty simple, ramp hard and pop off when you're ahead, but it does get complicated from time to time and you have to make some tough calls. You can use your soft ramp like Coin or Innervate to do actual ramp like Wild Growth and Nourish, since that will basically turn your borrowed mana into permanent mana. Wildheart Guff has a powerful hero power. You almost always want to pick the ramp option where you gain 1 mana crystal. Try to think out your entire turn and then start off the turn by ramping with the hero power. It costs 2 mana to play, but it gives you 1 mana back, so it's basically a 1 mana hero power. Use it before you play your other cards to make sure that you can fit it into the curve. You're on a ton of huge minions and you want to pair them with Earthen Scales to gain a ton of armor in order to survive. Ideally, you want to make your Naga Giants free, but if you can get them to at least 2 mana, you can pair them with your Oracle of Elune to create a big unbeatable board. If you have ramped above 10 mana with Guff, you can pair your Oracle of Elune with Ivus the Forest Lord to make 2 huge minions with Rush, Taunt, Divine Shield, and a ton of stats. Use it to close out the game on the next turn. And of course, Scales of Onyxia and Raid Boss Onyxia are your big board wipes, so use them as a response rather than a tempo play. And of course, if your opponent manages to deal with all of your powerful minions, you can end the game with a Kazakhstan and pick a deck of overpowered treasures. You do run a lot of minions, so make sure that your deck is empty before you play Kazakhstan. And that's just scratching the surface of Ramp Druid. Ramp a ton, play Guff, and finish the game with a ton of huge minions, a bunch of armor, and even a Kazakhstan. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're 1 week into the expansion and it feels like it's getting more fun every day. The channel is really popping off and I want to make sure that you guys know how much I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, enjoy the games. Hello and welcome. Today we are tasting the forbidden fruit that is Ramp Druid. Hate it or love it, a lot of people hate it, I love it. It's fun to just ramp up, play your huge stuff. It's a lot of fun. I think you should try it out if you have the cards. It's not as Kazakhstan reliant anymore, which I definitely like. It's not so gimmicky in a way, even though the last one was consistent. We could keep Jerry Rig, which I kind of like because it is a Druid mirror. However, I feel like whoever gets Guff is gonna win. But Innervate is also good, but I'm keeping Jerry here. Because we might draw into something like a Nourish, which would be really good. And now we are even closer to that Nourish. So Oracle isn't really good. What we can do, if we manage to draw a Nourish, which is like a 66%, is that we can just make sure that we get it down. And then when we're at 7, 8 mana, yeah, we got it. We can go Aquatic Form and then we can see if we can dredge into a Guff. You definitely want to use your Aquatic Form when you have a lot of mana. This is not really a reason to play it early. I know a lot of people do that, but come on. It's not that good. It's a zero-cost spell. Just kind of tempoing it won't really do anything for your Naga Giants or anything. Like, part of me just want to tempo the Oracle of Elune just because I want to punch him. But it's not it. We could actually Aquatic Form here, but I feel like I want to be a little bit more greedy with it. If we pick up a Innervate, then it's gonna be really good. So scrap everything I just said. We might go Aquatic Form and look for an Innervate next turn. See, if we get it, we're gonna be able to ramp right away. But it's just like, do we want to take the risk or not? I feel like we want to go a little fast and we want to play a little risky against another Druid because these games can, like, they can go for days. Not sure about the Living Roots. This guy might not be a Ramp Druid. We have Moonlit Guidance. So the question is, do we see if we can pull an Innervate? Or do we just draw with like Wrath and Hero Power? and then ramp next turn. That's like the safe option. I kind of like that. Let's go ramp, draw one. I don't want to go Moonlit Guidance yet. Then we play it, and then we just have a better, kind of a better turn to play Aquatic Form next turn. If you want to be a little greedy, of course, with it. You know, we could actually look for another Wrath if we want to, or a Jerry Rig that could draw us another Wrath. Next turn, we could go, like, we are going to ramp. Question is, do we want to go, what's it called? Do we want to go Moonlit afterwards? We're not going to get that copy, but we get to draw, which is kind of nice. But I think since we're going to end up with 2 mana, right? So let's start off with ramping. I think it's just better to take out one of his minions. But we do have to worry a little bit about our hand space here. But next turn, it's so good to go Aquatic Form. We already have our Onyxia. So unless we find like a giant, we're gonna draw anything that we will find, right? This guy is ramp, it seems like, but he does run these weird tempo cards. Maybe he has some bloodlust-ish stuff going on. Next turn we're at 8. So we could pick up a Kazakusan if we want to, but it's not really a good card. Or it's a good card, but it's not good to have it right now. We are at 9 mana, so what we could do actually is we could just go Miracle Growth. We have to innervate first, right? So we don't overdraw. We could go Miracle Growth into like an Earthen Scale, which is pretty good. We're gonna be off. We could go 2 Earthen Scales to just gain that armor. Kinda like that, right? Because we're going down to 8, and then this puts us at 7, and then we draw 3 cards. I feel like that's actually the best play here, even though we kind of have to innervate almost nothing in the beginning, but just to make sure that we don't overdraw. There's our Kazaku-san, that scales, that's really good. And then we just go Earthen Scales. Is there anything else we want to do except for the Earthen Scale? Yeah, let's just go for it. And now I have like 50 health, almost. This is pretty nice. We do have a lot of draw though, so we kind of want to dump our hand. But as I said before, like we can go Aquatic Form to draw something, but I kind of just wanted to empty my hand. That's why I didn't play it. We can definitely try to find a guff from it. I think that might be the priority now. Like, we Aquatic Form, see if we get a guff. We can Moonlit Guidance, see if we get another guff. Hopefully we can just smack him, right? Almost. What is that? 14? Alright. It's a good thing that we have our Scales of Onyxia. We could actually put down an Ivus to see if he can't deal with it, which would be pretty good. But let's see if we can find that guff. It's not a guff. We could go for Jerry, I guess. I don't think we're gonna get the Naga, that's the thing. We're just gonna dredge it to the top, which I don't like. We could go for another Kelp Keeper. It's pretty good, because we can play it right away. I think that Jerry Rig would clog up our hand a little bit too much. And because I want to prepare to like go for a draw, right? Let's do it like this, and if we pull up Guff, we can play him. That's not a Guff. We could go for another Moonlit Guidance. We could just... No, Queen isn't good. And we don't want to ramp with the Nourish, and I don't think we... Actually, we can draw with the Nourish. No. I feel like we're going for another Moonlit Guidance, which looks a little weird. We could actually... draw with the Enrich. No. Let's go for Moonlit, see if we can just get a Guff, even though it's not like the perfect... It's not the perfect curve or anything. Let's just chill. There we go. We can still go for that look. We're at 13 cards. He is at 16. Maybe we just wanted to go with Enrich. Pick up Queen Ashara. I'm not sure. These games can go on for a little bit, so I just want to get in there and win right away. We might actually go for Raid Boss Onyxia, but I definitely don't like to tempo her, because if I play Onyxia, he can play his Onyxia takes out my Onyxia, and it's gonna be a mess. See, he's trying to dump his hand for some reason. It's just good to kind of keep that in mind. Let's go for Guff. It's not a Guff. I don't like this will give us that nourish. Let's just take a sea giant. It's a 0 cost, which is really good. So should we just try to pop off here actually? With an Oracle of Elune? That's pretty good. And we're getting like 1 billion of them down. So let's check this out. And we draw the other one. We're not playing Ivers yet though. But man, this is a board to deal with. And then we take something out. And we still have another Naga Giant at the bottom. I should have counted how many spells I had played. But this is a huge board that might actually close out the game. I mean, it's not easy to deal with. What? Like Ivers? I'm not sure. Queen Ashara into finding... I don't know, Queen Ashara into finding the spells, into going Moonlit Guidance, into just a board wipe. Maybe something like that. So I think we are going to... Actually, we might go Ivers next turn. We trade in these boys, then go Ivers. Yeah, he trades them. Oh yeah, so now we can't go like a double Ivers. But I feel like I wanna keep these healthy. So let's just go for that Ivers, right? Or... I have 4. Onyxia will take up 1 space, that's 5. And then I get 2... what's it called? Then I get 2 whelps. It's gonna be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So Onyxia kind of works out here. I mean, I'm sure this is not the best play. But we're doing it because I want to swing these boys into his face. 8, 10, 12... Smack, 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 just get in there. And now he has to deal with this. Onyxia is kind of a good counter, but I don't think he's gonna solve his problem. I think he needs a miracle. And even getting a double Ivers out here isn't that good. And he got 1. Kills the Onyxia. So Naga Giant. Can I kill it off with like... I could go my Ivers. I think that's the best response, right? Yeah, I think just Ivers here kills him. Does it? Yeah. Look at my huge things. Yeah, that's how we beat another druid. Nice. Alright. Whoa, you don't see a paladin every day. Probably mech, right? Or it might be some sort of control. The thing is, like, if you play this, you're gonna have to get used to playing a lot of mirrors and long games, which is actually, it's a pretty fun deck to go in the mirror because you're gonna get to do what you wanna do. But you just gotta hope that you get to ramp before he does. So Innervate is good, but I think he's more aggressive. I don't want to keep this Innervate unless I have like a guff. I prioritize getting him very highly. It's not the biggest chance of you getting him, but getting something like a Dozing Kelper together with a Wrath is actually pretty good. And Scales of Onyxia if this guy is more aggressive. Also, if he plays a Trog now, because he kept 1 card. If he plays a Trog, we can just Wrath it. So question is, do we Wrath to draw? That's awesome. That's awesome that we got Guff. So we could Wrath to draw, but I'm kind of scared of a Trog. Because then we can't really deal with it. Unless we wake this up, which will take some mana. But just drawing is so good, right? I think like, if this was a tournament, I probably would have just hero powered it. But what I really wanted to find here was a Wild Growth. So I could go Wild Growth next turn into Guff. Now we have to think a little bit because this might be an Oh My Yogg. And do we have kind of a useless spell? I mean, Moonlit Guidance is nice. But I mean, it's... do you just throw it? Is that a fine spell to throw? Yeah. We're gonna be able to just kind of... I think Aquatic Form would be good to throw. but I think we just play it to see what it is. Could just get another Moonlit Guidance to sacrifice it for the next turn. And also, I know we can't play it to draw the copy, but at least it's kind of something, because he's gonna punch again. That's the thing. He's gonna punch again, and this time it will probably be Oh My Yogg, but then this wakes up, which is good. I think when I attack, it might be Horse, or it might be that this dies if it's above 3 damage, I think. It's been a long time since I played against a Paladin. Oh, we never want this ramp to... we never want to try to ramp here. Okay, let's take the ramp then. Okay, we should have ramped. But, you know, playing around Oh My Yogg is still correct, right? See what we get? Reckoning. That was the spell I was talking about. So unless he plays another spell, we're pretty good to go. We go Wild Art Guff and then we just start ramping like crazy. I mean, the turn after you Wild Art Guff, you can always play a Scale of Onyxia almost, which is super good. And we want to make sure to utilize his hero power. Just to gain that extra mana crystal, because it's basically, it's like a Wild Growth but better. Like, it can't get countered. It's just 2 cost. I mean, I wonder if this guy is a little, if he plays a slower list. And we just Guff here. Good, we can try to sacrifice that Moonlit Guidance again. I mean, so the reason why I'm doing it is because we have so much draw. Moonlit Guidance is an awesome spell. It's really good. But I think the only thing that I would like to sacrifice into a Oh My Yogg would be like a Moonlit Guidance, or... we could do it with Ramp now, but we just have the... we can have the opportunity to go really big. And next turn we can't go Scales. So if he's smart, he's gonna start like just going crazy here. Interesting. He just wants to draw then. And then he heals this, right? Then he draws more. I don't even think a Cariel is that bad. I wonder if this is kind of a slow list that runs secrets. Wouldn't you wanna... If he... maybe he has another Acolyte. Okay, so I'm gonna Moonlit Guidance again. Let's ramp first. And then I'm gonna Moonlit Guidance. He doesn't run Oh My Yogg at all. We can super ramp. I don't think we need that. Let's go for... I think Jerry Rig is gonna end up overdrawing me almost. No, let's go for Jerry Rig. Then we ramp up to 9. We have 10 next turn, which means that if we find an Onyxia, we can play it. But I do think I want to go Miracle Growth soon. Let's see, we'll be at 8. We go down to 7. We draw 3 cards, we're at 10. And then we can go Earthen Scales. Bran? Oh, that's pretty cool though. So he might find like Poison. He makes 2 giants. I wonder if he gets 2 of the same. But they will have a Battle Cry effect as well. So I think it's important to go Scale here just to get rid of this Bran. I feel like that's better. Just kind of keep us in the game. And then we have to find ways to deal with his... whatever his Kazakus did. So good. But I think Onyxia will die when I throw her into something. Let's ramp. And let's go Scales here. That's fine. I should have attacked the other one. Yeah, I know. I know, dude. So it's probably the other Destroy a Minion, right? So we have to kind of... We only run big things. And I'm not sure that I want to sacrifice my Raid Boss Onyxia. I'm not sure what's going on here. Alright, let's draw. Should have ramped first, obviously. Oh, we can go with a lot of Nagas here, but I'm kind of afraid of a full board clear. Let's see, we ramp. And we want to make sure to play something. I feel like getting some mana here is good. And I'm kind of seeing. And let's finish up with a ramp, right? Yeah, I'm like, is that horse? If we don't see another if we don't see another secret, then we can just feel free to go Onyxia next turn. We're gonna ramp Onyxia. And we basically just want to draw our cards to get to Kazakhstan here. This is a weird deck that I'm playing against. So the reason why I don't play my Naga Giants here is because I'm kind of afraid of just a full board clear with equality, like stuff like equality into what's it called? The other Wild Pyromancer. I mean, he probably doesn't have it. Alright. I think Onyxia is fine here. Onyxia takes out the 4/8. Ivers is super good. I mean, we just need to find that Oracle of Elune. We're soon at a point where we don't really have to ramp. But let's go Onyxia here. Maybe I should have ramped with Nourish, but I don't think we need that. And then we just clear as much as we can. And question is, do we just play one of our giants? We could play both since we do have the Ivers. We could go for Jerry Rig here. Let's play a Jerry Rig. And do we overdraw if I play the other one? We will draw. Do we have something else for it? Yeah, Nourish. So we will overdraw unless we dump a giant. So let's play it first. And then we can play a giant, right? It's getting like increasingly harder to draw cards. But I mean, if he wants to wipe this, then we still have like Queen Ashara, discover a Colossal, and we're just going for a big Ivers when he has done whatever he wants to do. I mean, Cariel is definitely dangerous. I wonder if this is one of those decks that will just one-shot you with a Mr. Smite. That's actually pretty scary, but we do get to deal 8 damage to him now, which is kind of nice. I want to activate my Queen Ajara. So Jerry won't do anything, right? We can just dump Jerry. Because we can't draw cards right now. We can draw with like Nature's Wrath and stuff. I want to find Oracle of Elune. Let's play Jerry just to have her out of our hand. And we could ramp all the way, I guess. And then I want to play Queen Ajara. And I want to get a Colossal minion. Let's go. And I want to play it. And I think... Oh, Krakatoa is so good. You just go for it now. It's Colossal +2, so it's perfect for my board. Do we draw? So we could actually pair the Krakatoa with an Oracle, which is pretty cool. Let's just get here. Let's try to force him to clear this with like Equality Wild Pyromancer. I think that's gonna be his entire board clear then. I'm a little bit confused because I'm not sure what I'm up against. This is the thing. But all I know is that I want to play Oracle of Elune together with Ivers and a Naga after I've baited out a board clear. It's kind of nice that we get a weapon, but it's just a 2/1 though. It's not gonna do that much. By the way, did I forget to attack with Onyxia? Like a noob? Yeah, I did, because she wasn't glowing. That's awkward. Well. Just forgot that I had it. So we need to draw our Dozing, and we need to draw something else. Dozing, we go Oracle of Elune here. Big time. Man, it feels so bad that I didn't hit him with this. But it is what it is. Do we ever care about killing this? I think either he has it, or we lose, or we just... I want to go Ivers, that's the thing. I really, really, really want to go Ivers here. Do we take 20 in the face? No, never. They're gonna gain Divine Shield and stuff. I actually don't think that we pop the other Divine Shield. And now we remember Onyxia. I got baited hard. Maybe I should have drawn a card. So, do we just go for the Naga Giant? No, let's chill with it. Let's just have it in the pocket. I mean, we don't need two of them if there's a board clear. But this definitely like protects us from big Mr. Smites and stuff. Equality, yeah, there it is. Punch this and then like Consecration. City Tax, yeah. That's kind of why. It's kind of why we kept the Naga Giant. Can we get our dozing, please? So let's draw 3. Do we have space for it? Yeah. Never getting that dozing. Okay, how many cards do I have left? 3. This gives us dozing. Very good. The reason why I'm going for dozing here is because I want to play my Kazakusan. And should we just go for damage? Pure cold. He can probably out-heal most of it. Let's take a Gnomish Army Knife. Embers. Book of the Dead. Let's go for a Banana Split. This is it. Okay, so our minions has to survive now. So, we want to start off by drawing. Pure Cold, nice. And let's play a Kelper. And I think I want to draw a little bit. Do we ever do this? Do you just chill? I just want to draw here, that's the thing. And this was a weird turn. But I mean, hopefully it doesn't just kill me here. Because I couldn't quite kill him, but I can draw the rest of my deck, which is nice. So we might be able to do like some big plays. Like this will come down to 10, but it will only deal 8, that's the thing. Because everything is like half mana. Everything is like half damage because of Cariel. This eats my thing, that sucks. But at least we have Miracle Growth for like the banana splits and stuff. And we also have the Kelper, which is kind of nice because they will have Rush. So Book of the Dead, super good. Okay, can we kill him now? That's the question. I want to draw. Can I draw 3? Yes, but we can draw with Miracle Growth actually, it's better. That's a Book of the Dead. Now I want to go Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead. And we want to make sure that we buff this with Banana Split to make it huge. And now we want to gain more armor. And let's draw. I should have drawn first. It's a Gnomish Army Knife, so we kind of need to... we can draw our Embers right now. We kind of need to kill him with the Embers next turn. There it is. Hopefully he can't heal too much. But at least these are taunts. It's poisonous. Ugh. Alright, dude. Just going, hope that he doesn't heal. Let's go fireballs. I shouldn't have picked those army knives, I think. And this is a win, right? Oh. Alright, that was kind of a long one and it got a little messy at the end. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon. Peace. Whew, I'm sweaty.